Hey guys, I hope you're all well today. I wrote some stuff down. Yeah, there's been a lot coming up. We're really moving through some density, some fear. Some of you might look tired like I do today. It's just kind of part of this process of giving your body to alchemy. Sometimes you look vibrant and 21 years old. If you're older like me, and then other times you look a million years old and like you've just been drugged through it, like lifetimes of suffering or something. But that's what we're here for. We're here to alchemize darkness. This is our job. And the more you devote yourself to this job of alchemy, to this job of giving yourself to the light, giving yourself to the divine, the more you'll feel the light devoting itself to you. Like this beautiful merger can happen between you and the Divine Mother. A lot of people talk about how like you take one step towards her, she's going to take 10 steps towards you. And so right now is a big time in a lot of our processes where we're being asked to devote more of ourselves to the divine, where we're being asked to let go of our personal desires, our personal wants, how we think things should work out. Because it takes focus. It takes focus to stay in communion with the divine. And a lot of times we're letting our focus go to other places. I know for me, a big one has been, ooh, look at that beautiful woman, you know? For some of you might resonate with that. Other people, it's like we let our focus go towards, who knows? All these other things, right? There's all these other worldly things we could be desiring in every moment. But you eventually get to this place where you realize the only thing that will satiate you at the deepest level is God. And you realize underneath every other desire you have is just this longing for God. And so eventually it becomes boring to keep chasing things. And we chase things because they intoxicate us. Whether it's like that beautiful woman or that beautiful man's energy, or that connection of like feeling that kind of romantic love, you could say, that can be very intoxicating and addicting. It could be just straight up a substance, right? You could be addicted to thought patterns rooted in lack and thought patterns rooted in unworthiness, right? You could be addicted to like lust. There's all these different things to be addicted to. But eventually to be addicted to, and that are very intoxicating. Eventually though, intoxication becomes boring. And just being here sober with reality becomes the most exciting thing. It's the most alive thing. Because you realize when you're going off on the path of intoxication, nothing was really happening. You're just kind of experiencing out an old pattern, an old habit. You're chasing something, and it may feel like a lot is happening, but actually you're just getting drunk. You're just getting high. That's it. That's all that's really happening. And you can learn from that experience, and you can get drunk enough times to where the poison turns into medicine, right? But it's amazing. You start to realize so much more happens when you stay in attunement with the highest light that you're able to discern, that you're able to feel. So much more happens when you stay rooted in truth. That's when a lot of stuff is moving. And I've had this kind of path myself where I go get lost in intoxication. And it's like we're just kind of delaying moving stuff through at a certain point. And I've kind of gotten there in my own life over and over and over again, where it's just like, yeah, I'm ready to face myself. It's the reason we want to go get intoxicated is because usually there's a deep wound we don't want to feel. Maybe it's a lot of anger or shame or terror. And we want to go, grab on, cling on to someone else or some kind of substance or some kind of behavior or whatever. Because that temporarily feels better than facing the wound that's coming up to be felt. I was just talking to someone though, and it was this thing of like, eventually it feels better to be with the wound, because then you're integrated, then you're in wholeness. It might be fire, it might be burning, it might be uncomfortable, because you're feeling light meeting darkness. But there's something about being in wholeness, being grounded in reality, that just starts to feel so good. Because when you're off chasing things and getting intoxicated, you're living in a very fragmented way. You're living outside of your body. You're living outside of reality, like the truest reality. And so then things can come in that are unwanted, and you can just have all these experiences that feel so disempowering. And you can just hit these rock bottoms. And the hitting rock bottom can be a good thing, because that can propel you to start to focus more on what will truly satisfy you and what will truly fulfill you, which is God, which is living in union and harmony with who you truly are, with the Divine Mother. And so these are things that start to happen when we just get bored of being intoxicated, when it's just boring. And we realize actually being what other people would call bored is actually where the real stuff is. Where we're just doing nothing, but feeling yourself living in alignment with your higher self feels like there's so much happening. It's actually, that becomes more entertaining than chasing anything in the external. You start to become more entertained by your own consciousness, by your own source, than you are by scrolling on YouTube or, whatever else that the mind wants to grab onto. So, this is a big one. It's just going to start feeling off. Eventually, it's going to feel off to give your power away to someone else or to some desire or an addiction. And what you alchemize, when you stay at home in yourself, when you stay grounded in reality, when you let go of continually getting intoxicated, you'll start to realize that what you're alchemizing, because you're going to start alchemizing a lot. When you let go of what intoxicates you and you stay at home in yourself, you're going to start to meet the darkness within you. You're going to start to meet your deep father and mother wounds, your ancestral wounds, your past life wounds, etc. And as that stuff starts to come up, and by the way, that's what you're here to do. You're here to meet this stuff and alchemize it and bring light to it. And as you start to do that, as you start to alchemize this dark content, this trauma, this pain, this unconscious energy, you'll notice it's going to turn into creativity. It's going to turn into art. It's going to be your inspiration to share however it feels true for you to share. This is true for me. You could probably feel in this video. There's something over here that's really started making God the primary focus again, in a really deep, I could say again, but just in an even deeper way. And because God is the primary focus, I've really been being with this one. I've been really being with what's coming up. And because I've been being with what's coming up, there's just a lot that wants to flow through and be said. Because I now have the content to be shared. So your darkness is your content. Your darkness is your next painting, your next song you're going to write, the next cookbook, or whatever the fuck you love to do, right? Your darkness is the next lesson for your children. The darkness you alchemize in your own body is the wisdom you can pass on to your children. And you also clear some ancestral lineage stuff for them too. So it's a win-win. So do not be deterred when you're alchemizing by a fog of deadness that will come in. A fog of lifelessness, heaviness, lethargy, exhaustion. These are just, you could say these are tests. This is part of the alchemical process. This is a sign you've hit into something deep, and there's lots of veils over it. So be with the fog of deadness. The fog of deadness is so much more juicy than abandoning it because I don't want to be with deadness or whatever, and abandoning it for intoxication. I promise you, if you stay with deadness, you'll see it so much more full of richer experience for you to have. But you got to have this willingness to stay with it. You got to have this devotion to keeping your focus on God. And if you have this devotion, she will show up for you. If you have this devotion to her, to the Divine Mother, to the Lord, to your higher self, these forces, it's like they hear that, they feel that, they can sense that or something, and they come to you as well, and they support you in your alchemical process. They give you the power to continue to be with deadness, lifelessness, heaviness, lethargy, etc. So your focus on them actually amplifies your experience of them. Whatever we focus on, it grows, okay? So keep your focus on God. That's the main thing. There's much less suffering in the long term when you align your life with the divine and you live a pure life devoted to the divine. There's much less suffering in the long term. Maybe there's less short-term pain to go get intoxicated because, it's going to feel good right away. You get that instant gratification, you get that pleasure, but that is just it's a cycle that's just going to create more long-term suffering. Whereas if you just say, I'm here, I'm going to eat up this density, I'm going to put my focus on God, and me and God are going to alchemize. What's going to happen is you're going to feel more pain initially, but in the long run, you're going to feel better because you will have cleared stuff from your body. You're going to feel more in alignment with your true self. You're going to feel more light, more bliss, more harmony. You're going to be more creative. You're going to be more in the creative mode. And this is, honestly, it's very fun to be in the creative mode. It's a more enjoyable experience to be creating and getting intoxicated on your own energy than it is going off somewhere else and trying to get high because you want to avoid yourself. Because as long as you keep doing that, that stuff's still in you. And you're going to keep doing that same pattern of getting drunk or high. And it can be just on that. It doesn't have to be a substance, right? You're going to keep getting intoxicated. Then you're going to hit rock bottom and you're going to feel hungover. And it's a cycle, right? To break that cycle, you keep your focus on God. You stay with yourself. You meet your wounds. And you let it come through as art, as creativity. And honestly, this is the only thing that's going to satisfy you in the long run. This is what you're here to do. You're here to be a conduit for the divine. You're here to walk as one with the Lord, with God. This is anyone who's watching this video still, you're obviously here to do that. And the more you just give yourself to that path, the easier this is going to be. It's going to be, like I said, harder in the short term because you're breaking a lot of patterns. You're literally forming new neural pathways. You're going to be burning. You're going to be on fire. You're going to be craving things. You're going to go into some kind of detox period. You're going to go into withdrawals. But these withdrawals are actually the surfacing of your true self. These withdrawals are actually you reclaiming more of who you really are. And then over time, you're going to start to feel more whole, more complete, more just in your body, more powerful, more capable, more relaxed, more at peace. You're going to feel true peace. And I promise you, you want this grounded peace and clarity that comes with the fire and the burning and the alchemy 1,000,000 trillion infinite times more than you want those kind of intoxication hits that get you, fragmented and just kind of leads to a hangover and a low, the highs and the lows. You want this grounded peace, this grounded clarity. Because the highs that come from your own energy, from your own source energy, those are so clean. Those are so pure. And then you just want to share love. You just want to give, right? A lot of times we're getting intoxicated because we're grabbing at something from lack. Oh, I need that person, or I need that attention, I need that. Who knows? It could be anything. It could be anything outside of you that you're trying to fill yourself with to be complete. So that's the video. I love you guys. Keep it up. You got this.